Hello, you're listening to the Ace Up Your Sleeve podcast. My name is Reichen Young, a student of the Acting Company for Excellence and host of the Ace Up Your Sleeve podcast. Today we are talking to NTPA's program director for its Plano location, Paige Price. Miss Paige began as an intern with NTPA in 2018 and graduated from Ouachita Baptist University in 2021 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Musical Theater. In the role as a program director, Miss Paige oversees NTPA's programming, operations, and facilities as it expands its investment into the Plano area. Welcome, Miss Paige!
Hi!
It's such an amazing honor to have you on the show. We've heard so much about you.
Stop.
And we can't wait to hear everything about you. All right, so as a student at NTPA, I find it fascinating you started here as an intern and now you are the program director of Plano. Tell us more about that journey.
Yeah, it's funny. I was in undergrad at Ouachita, and I was figuring out what I was going to do for my first summer after my freshman year, and obviously, like a lot of musical theater students, I was looking into summer stock programs, but a lot of things weren't panning out the way I would have liked, and so I went to a professor of mine, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do for the summer? I've got to keep myself busy. He goes, well, why don't you apply to that theater that's near you, NTPA, because some Ouachita alum had come and worked here. And I was like, that's such a good idea. And it's been history ever since. And it's been so fun to kind of grow through the program as I went through college and then graduated and became a full-time staff member and put on a lot of different hats. It's been amazing.
Wow. And so you've directed a lot of shows at NTPA. What advice can you give students who want to perhaps do an audition?
I would say keep it interesting, right? And I feel like a lot of directors will say that, but we sit through a lot of auditions, whether they're in person or virtual, and keeping it interesting, obviously, being yourself. Everyone will say that, but it's so true. We don't want to watch the same cookie cutter audition a million times. Make us laugh, make us cry, make it genuine, and that will be the best audition that you can do.
As a program director of Plano, what do you hope for the future of the location?
Well, Plano has had such a rich history for 30 years.
Yeah.
PCT has been around, or more than that now.
Woo!
Right? And so only getting better, only getting stronger. So hopes for the future of the location. Obviously, we're in our beautiful Plano space right now, but who knows where we'll go in the future. I hope to see lots more shows, lots more kiddos, new shows that we're doing, exciting stuff.
And so, did you always know that you wanted a career in theater?
I think I did. From a very young age, I grew up in a musical family, especially with my grandfather and my mother, both kind of fostering that love in me for music initially, and I started taking piano lessons at a very young age, but then after a while, I was like, I kind of want to give up the instrumental stuff, so I'm the black sheep of my family. I grew up in a family of instrumentalists, so I'm the black sheep in that way, who want to go into vocal stuff, and then eventually musical theater, right? So, but I think I knew from a young age, I have always been very extroverted, and always been a big fan of, having the spotlight on me. There's a story from when my sister was born where we came into the delivery room after my mother had my sister, and there were the little spotlights in the ceiling, and there's a story about how I asked everyone to put the spotlight on me, even though it was about my sister in that moment,
Exactly.
But it was not in my mind, it was about me. So I guess from that moment on, that's when I knew I wanted a career in theater. How crazy is that?
Well, there you go. That's actually a really interesting story. That's awesome. I love that. And so when it comes to choosing future productions for NTPA Plano, how do you decide what shows get selected?
So our programming committee on our Plano board plays a huge, huge role in that. We obviously look at the shows that we've recently done. We look at shows that our other theaters have done and what's coming up, seeing, Fairview had a lot of success with that show. What if we did that show in our next round of programming? Also, we're looking at new titles a lot. New titles are coming out all the time from MTI, from Concord, all of our publishing companies. So we look and see, would that do well with our students? And we obviously put out our programming polls. You can see the posters for that in the building right now. And so we listen to those. We go through those results and listen and see, everyone really wants to do this show. This show, not so much. And we kind of go from there.
What is a highly demanded show, would you say?
A highly demanded show. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of demand for shows that we cannot do, right? Everyone wants to do Hamilton, but the rights are not out for Hamilton.
Yep.
Everyone wants to do Wicked. The rights are not out for Wicked. But within that, lots of shows, like new titles, right? Like Mean Girls, both the junior and the school edition, very, very popular. I'm trying to think of a couple other ones off the top of my head. Disney shows are always in high demand. Everyone wants to do Frozen. Everyone wants to do shows like that. that. Like, especially with kids' titles, Disney shows are very, very popular. So, yeah.
I know Aladdin at Fairview is pretty commonplace. And,
yes, that's another big one.
And
Absolutely.
I've even fallen subject to that trend. I mean, I did Aladdin and I loved it, and then like I've been wanting to do like Aladdin ever since, but
yeah,
it just keeps on coming. And so every once in a while there'll be like Aladdin Kids or Aladdin Junior, and I just love like hearing the music through the walls. And it really shows that like what, especially like what people like you do, the who choose the shows and bring them in, like those people are really like underestimating like what they can do and like what the amazing shows they can bring in. And so we really appreciate that.
Oh, well, thanks.
So, and finally, what advice would you give students who want to pursue theater as a career?
I would say, well, you got to know that you love it, right?
Hear, hear.
And figure out what it is about theater that you love and what keeps drawing you back to it. But then also find other things in your life that help fulfill you as an artist, right? Because doing theater and only doing theater, I think, can burn you out really, really quickly because it's one thing and it's very specific, and it's an amazing thing, obviously. But, like, for example, when I was in undergrad, obviously, I was a musical theater major, so I was doing a lot of theater, but I started to get burned out with that because, it was for a grade. It was not for fun anymore. It was for, a job in a way. And so that's when I took up things like knitting and other fun little hobbies. So I would say in that vein, find a hobby, right? Find something that you love to do outside of it that fulfills you in a different way so you can take that and bring it back into the theater as well as your real life experience so that the characters that you bring to life are so much more well-rounded and not just who they are on the paper.
Exactly. You got to be a well-rounded man. It's like a circle. If you have too much weight on one side, it'll start balancing on the other, and you won't be able to fully like keep on like rolling along. And also, I do feel like it's a very important message that you can take a break. And if you're burned out, please take a break, get some rest,
absolutely.
eat good food.
I tell students that all the time. They come to me, they say, Miss Paige, I need a break, and I'll be the first one to say, yes, you do. Go take a chill pill for a month or however long you need, and then you'll come back and you'll be better than ever.
Self-care is important, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And now, Miss Paige, it's a time during the Ace Up Your Sleeve podcast where we ask every guest the same 5 quick questions. You must answer every question quickly and without explanation. Are you ready?
I am ready.
What was the name of the first show you performed?
Dear Edwina Jr.
What is your favorite show? Sorry, yeah.
It is The Wild Party.
What is your favorite role that you've played?
Jo March in Little Women.
What is your dream role?
I think my dream role is Sandra Bloom in Big Fish.
And what is your favorite candy?
Nerds, but specifically Nerds Ropes.
Oh, yeah. I love Nerds Ropes.
Amazing.
They're
amazing.
Sweet, sour, just overall amazing.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Miss Paige, for talking with us on the Ace Up Your Sleeve podcast. And until next time, I'm Reichen Young. Remember, you always have a winning hand with an ace up your sleeve. The Ace Up Your Sleeve podcast is brought to you by the students of the Acting Company for Excellence at North Texas Performing Arts. This podcast was created by Reichen Young, with sound design and editing by Latham Young. Faculty supervision is provided by Hannah Brewer. NTPA is a nonprofit organization dedicated to developing the character of youth through quality performing arts education and family entertainment. Learn more about upcoming programs and events at ntpa.org.